Who we have here now on Election Day? Kurt Bardella, News Nation contributor, and Erin Maguire is a Republican strategist. Hello. Good morning.
Happy Election Day.
I didn't know you two did TV this early.
Well, you know, we try to make it interesting, keep people on their toes. Never know when to expect us.
Let's whip around the country here. You good with your party having a Democratic Socialist run New York City?
Well, he's going to win, so all I care about is the W, and we're going to get one.
The reality, I think, going forward here, because it is, look, the polls in the betting market show that this is mamdani. I keep saying, Erin, remember back in 2015 and 2016, Donald Trump would say something, and every single Democrat would be asked, or every single Republican would be asked, well, what do you think about the latest thing that Trump said? That's what your party, I believe, Republicans are going to do now with Zoran Mamdani and Republicans. You're going to try to flip the script from what happened 10 years ago.
I do think there will be a lot of pressure points, and Mamdani will be used as a Democrat foil. But I think Mamdani is a microcosm of really the fractured Democrat Party, because you can look at the Democrat leaders and how they've addressed Mamdani. What does that mean? If you look at Schumer, Jeffries, or Obama, Obama campaigned for Spanberger and for Mikey Sherrill, but not for Zoran Mamdani. He's trying to pull the party back to the middle. Hakeem half hugs him in and is like, oh, well, sure, I'll endorse you, even though he had to be pulled kicking and screaming to do so for his own home city. He wants to have it a little bit of both ways, and Chuck Schumer's staying right the heck away from him.
We talked about this, Kurt, on the Hill last night. I think it's fascinating to take the Obama example, because Obama spoke to Mamdani, didn't endorse him. And that's the yeah, we understand, we see it, we get it from the establishment, but not yet ready to fully embrace. Is that sort of where Democrats are right now?
Yeah,
on the whole?
And this isn't a much broader thing than just New York. You know, there's an election today in Seattle where the mayor of Seattle, a more establishment Democrat, is being primaried by a left-wing mom, frankly, who has a really good chance of winning. And so we're seeing this clash between establishment and young. I think it has much more to do with young versus old than progressive and socialist and moderate. I think it's generational.
Let's go down to Virginia. We would never talk about an attorney general's race, really, in any state, for the most part. But we've never seen anything like this, which is Jay Jones, the attorney general candidate there in Virginia, and the text messages that were revealed in which he discussed about shooting a politician in the head, right? And that brought the race. It sort of flipped it. But the latest poll from Emerson College on the Hill, Erin, shows that Jones is winning, and I think the average person who doesn't care about politics would go, how? What's that all about?
It's easy to see. New Jersey and Virginia right now, in what you're seeing polling-wise and in the early vote, are acting how you would expect Virginia and New Jersey to act in this part of the cycle. Virginia historically, in off-year cycles for gubernatorial races, selects the party not in power. So Democrats would have already had an upper hand, just historically speaking. But yeah, this is a very difficult race. I think what you will see today in Virginia is two things. One, I think you're going to see one of the largest split ticket votes you've ever seen in the state, where people might select Spanberger and then jump to Miyares and jump to Reed, right? Or they pick Winsome and they pick Miyares, right? You can play any number of combinations there. But two, I also think you're going to see a massive undervote, where the top of the ticket, the gubernatorial race, obviously those races tend to pull in the most votes anyway. It's why they're called the top of the ticket. But I think you will see substantial undervoting. And I think that undervote, where someone doesn't vote down ballot, would be how Miyares and Reed could pull it out, is that if it's Ghazala Hashmi or Jay Jones, they find them too radical. Both of those have been incredibly close races this entire time on that ticket, with John Reed actually being the one who's the lieutenant governor nominee who has been polling the closest for the longest. So the state is acting how it normally does, but Jay Jones is a wild card, and I think that would come in undervoting.
What do you think happens there?
Yeah, I think the question is, will Spanberger's coattails be long enough and her win be large enough that it helps pull these other Democrats across the finish line in spite of some of the split ticket? That will absolutely happen. The massive baggage of Jay Jones that obviously has percolated and dominated the conversation. It's actually overshadowed the governor's race, which has been to Spanberger's benefit.
We're talking about the, I mean, to be fair, too, though, the governor's race, the polling shows it's like a 10-point, somewhere there. So that seems to be, obviously, if you're a Democrat, you love where things stand there. But it's the, and I should note to folks, we live in this area. Every other ad on television right now is about Jay Jones and the text messages.
Yeah, well, I think the question will be, will Spanberger be able to outpace what Youngkin did in his large victory that he had? And how will some of these suburbs, we talked about this on the Hill, how will purple counties like Loudoun County vote this time? Trump and Republicans made gains with these places in the last election, especially with Latino voters. Will that hold up and show up this time, or will there be an erosion?
All right, let's go out to California. California is saying, Greg Abbott, Texas, I see you and I raise you. If you're good with Greg Abbott and Texas changing the maps there, you got to be good with Gavin Newsom, right?
I think
you can't have it both ways.
Well, I'm not saying we're having it both ways. I say this redistricting all across the country was never a great move to begin with. There were unlevel playing fields. I mean, Illinois is gerrymandered beyond all belief, and they're going to try to redraw their maps as well under J.B. Pritzker. That's insane asylum behavior. But here for Prop 50 in California, for them to redistrict, that's a 2-to-1 Dem voter advantage in that state. Even the immediate polling that came out that said this was going to probably pass, you never saw any money come in or the ads to try and counter it. So Prop 50 sailing easily through should be expected today. And Gavin Newsom didn't have to put in any political work. This wasn't really a national fight. There are so many states right now fighting on the redistricting front that it got drowned out. And people want to say he's a front runner for 28. Nobody really cares what Gavin Newsom does.
And nobody cares what Gavin Newsom does. He is going to be running for president most likely in 2028.
He is.
But the care here, I would say, is that building right there. Because once you start talking about picking up seats for Republicans in Texas, picking up seats for Democrats in California, and on down the line, like you said, it could influence who runs Congress or who wins Congress in 2026.
I think California, more than any other states that right now are doing gerrymandering, is doing it the most democratic way. They are literally giving the people a vote, a decision.
Are you good?
Right
So
now.
then you're good with what Texas did. You're good with what Greg Abbott did.
If Texas had brought this to a vote of the constituents of Texas,
it was passed by a bill. Yes,
if they had,
that was.
no, by a bill, not an actual direct vote of the
But the people who passed
which
the
is
bill
what
were
we're seeing
voted
in
by.
California, and you didn't
But
have
what about
in
the
Texas.
concept? The concept, though, of we're going to redraw the maps because I'm a fill-in-the-blank party and it's good for my party.
No, it's terrible. That part is anti-democratic. But listen, Republicans opened up this can of worms, and Democrats are going to play by the same rules.
I will say, though, that California and New York have been the majority maker states. This redistricting effort is going to change what competitive seats look like. Every committee used to say, oh, we have 100 target races we can get in the House. Those numbers are now going to look like 13 to 15 races that are going to be very close. And actually going into the midterms now, today can't be really used as a reflection point looking ahead because we don't know what final maps look like for congressional races going into 26.
I got to run, but if you see one upset tonight anywhere across the country, it's
John Reed for Lieutenant Governor.
Okay.
I'm looking actually at the Pennsylvania Supreme Court race where both parties put millions of dollars into that one.
Interesting. A lot of money flying all over the place. Kurt Bardella, Erin Maguire, thank you so much.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Good morning indeed.